I'll make sure I text it to you.
Hi again, everybody. I don't know
Welcome
what.
back. Welcome back.
Who are you lot? Who the hell are you lot?
Welcome
Where am I?
everybody again. This is Joe. He is just a real good guy that we met recently, and he loves all kinds of mystery and fun, and he loves to laugh. And I literally 5 seconds ago met Nabi, but he is an incredible artist. And, you know, he's my kind of dude. Anybody that indulges just a little bit has a lot better attitude to me, and that's somebody I can hang out with for a little while. Welcome, guys. Hi, how are ya?
So we
Hello,
live on your
hello.
channel now then. All right,
Thank
okay.
you for
Hello.
letting me up.
Hello,
What's
everybody.
going on, Thomas?
Nabi, you want to introduce yourself and tell
Hello,
us?
everybody. I'm Nobby from North Yorkshire, England, not Britain or the United Kingdom. And I do videos and guitar music, I suppose.
I'm trying.
Yes, sir. And Nabi is a lovely guitarist. I guess he hasn't been in that many years, but we have a good time because he can come up on my stream and play guitar, and I'll try to sing along and try to mumble along. You know, it's really beautiful fun.
I was trying to get him up on screen so everybody could say hi, but I can't seem to get anything right when it's to computers today, so I'm just going to leave hands off.
Here, let me hit the controls.
Oh, see now what is this?
It's a one at a time. What's up, Nabi?
Nabi's front and center.
Oh, big screen. Hello.
What's up, Nabi?
Oh.
Introduce yourself.
Where am I? In Timbuktu? Where am I? What part of the world am I in?
Man. England. Like, there's
No,
no argument about that. England.
There she is.
We're broadcasting from Houston, Texas.
Oh, Texas. We're sisters countries. Texas, Yorkshire, England. We've all got the same, if you know what I'm saying, way of living, if you know what I'm saying.
Man, Texas is pretty diverse.
Right. Absolutely.
I've got a lot of things in common with Texas.
Nabi, you said something about reading tea leaves right before.
Oh, yeah. This type of thing we used to do, like, you know, saying just for laugh. But now
you know how to read tea leaves?
Now I know serious tarot readers. I just take Mickey by saying that, if you know what I'm saying. Because I'm not a tarot reader, but I'm really into it.
No, it's cool. I think it's cool. I've only I've heard of tea readers, but I don't think I've ever actually met one.
Oh, there's a lot around here in Yorkshire. Like we've got.
I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
Have you heard of the witch?
What you were showing of your art, man, that was so freaking cool.
What's that? You seen my art? I don't know if you have. Right.
Your visual art, like the photos and everything that you
made.
Right. Yeah. When we were backstage.
Yeah.
We've never seen your painting.
That was freaking amazing.
I collect various artists' paintings and stuff, which are, you know, local, if you know what I'm saying.
So now you play guitar? I see guitars. Do you play guitar?
Sorry, got echo there.
You play guitar, Nabi, right?
Yeah.
Well, I try to do. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the only thing that I can really do now since I've been retired. You know? Anything 70s, 80s, definitely, and some 90s stuff. You know. Yeah. Well, everything really.
How many years? It hasn't been that long, right?
But you mean like REO Speedwagon?
6.5 years. Yeah.
Everything. Oh man. Oh, well, if you want to play it, I won't say no, but I understand.
No.
Joe, you ready? You ready to introduce yourself for a few seconds?
I am, yeah. And by the way, with Nobby, yeah, I mean, like he said, REO Speedwagon. Like, let's think of a good one. Like, let's think of a. Not even that. Let's just. Can you do some Jackson Starship or whatever?
or George Thorogood. What about George Thorogood?
George Thorogood. That's funny. My mom. I'll just give you that for one more second. My mom, when I call her phone, it does the it does the George Thorogood Bad to the Bone ring.
Yes, I love it.
That's what my mom thinks of me.
I love it.
I've been doing really badly trying to learn Sea Lice Spam. I've been doing really badly trying to learn another really hard one today. I've been trying to learn White Rabbit. Go ask Alice. Jefferson Airplane. That's another. It's really difficult.
Oh, is it? What about Steve Miller Band?
Oh, like Brown Eyed Girl.
I haven't got that, but I like that song.
Yeah, I do too. Ooh, what is it? Jesse's Girl. I wish I had Jesse's Girl. What is it? Who is that?
Oh, yeah. Rick Springfield.
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah, I have that. I have the 7-inch single, I have the 12-inch single, and I have the LP. And I have the LP that was printed back then. I have all of them. Yeah, Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl.
And is Rick Astley, is Rick Rolling still a thing?
Well,
Rick Astley, I've got you funny.
Recently,
I've got a funny story about Rick Astley. If you want
happening, yeah, they play the "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down."
Never gonna
Back in the 90s when I worked at Abbey Road Studio, Rick Astley was there.
Brown Eyed Girl is Van Morrison. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Van Morrison. Okay. I really thought it was.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I really thought that was Steve Miller. I was thinking of the Joker. I was thinking of the Joker, actually.
Yeah, the Joker's another good one I like.
Okay.
Yeah, the Joker by Steve Miller Band. I got that totally confused. Van Morrison. Van Morrison's one of my favorite artists.
And then you hit your mic.
He got muted out.
Yeah, he has mic.
Yeah, Navi, your story about Rick Astley
himself.
No, that was like for me. That was a total switch. I was thinking of Joker
Rick Astley.
When I was speaking of Steve Miller. I fucked that up.
Rick Astley, I met him in Abbey Road back in '89, I think it was, through till about 91 when he was doing an album there. And it was one of the. I was only 89, so I was 26-year-old. So I'm working all the time, if you know what I'm saying, like 3 jobs a day, working Abbey Road in the morning, and other record places throughout the day, through about 3 o'clock, then working nighttime, delivering Chinese, then working at nighttime in a nightclub. So it was quite hectic. And in Abbey Road, he used to play pool with artists there in warm-up room before rehearsals and that. And
Rick Astley, I mean, where I came from, he got a lot of credit for having like a soulful voice for a white face. You know what I mean? Like where I came from, a lot of the older ladies and stuff were like, "Yeah, I dig that." You know, like I like his soulful voice.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a meme back then. It was just a guy with talent. You know.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest smokers I've ever come across at that age. If you know what I'm saying. So yeah, really cool to play with and but not to chat to, because I think he's a bit British, if you know what I'm saying. You know why I am with the British. I don't get on with the British. I'm English, like, you know.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I mean, you have to explain to me sometime, because you said that England was taken away in the late 60s, right? I don't really know what that means, to be honest.
No. I'm on about the 18th century, 1707, before even America was a thing. They were raping and pillaging our people, our indigenous English, Irish, Welsh people, way before America was a thing. You know, we've had 317 years of them. You know, we will get rid of them. You know, we are fighting hard, and we are taking their king to Texan court in a few months' time. But talking about Texas, yeah, that's the reason why we've got a big connection with Texas at the moment. We're taking the king with 4 police officers to a Texas court at the moment. So, you know,
is there a Texas like a monarch? Is that
no? How it works is because we can't take a British UK king to a British UK judge. We have to take him somewhere else, and we're going to take him to Texas. We've already got it sorted out. We've been to America a few times. Been to Texas, not myself, but our associates have been to Texas, sorted it all out, and it will be very, very soon. You'll be hearing this. But it's a bit like, you know, it's hot off the press, you know. But yeah.
And then,
I know a little bit about English culture, but I don't know about the government, so it confuses me.
It's very. I do forgive everybody in American places that they do end up calling us British and UK and all this lot, that don't quite understand what we're talking about. You know, the thing is about America, how it was born and everything, is like the British ended up into a civil war. You remember, yeah, and then there was that heinous character called Benedict Arnold, one of the top UK British espionage terrorists, everything under the sun, if you know what I'm saying, that us English fought and took away. And then what happened was this, I'm just saying this vaguely, I'm not very professional at talking, you realise this, yeah? It's like, and then what happened then is that America took really what happened is the British were out to destroy America and England and Wales and Scotland, the whole world, with the slavery. They started off slaving those English, Irish, Welsh, Irish indigenous people way before slavery ever became in the news, if you know what I'm saying. And then when they were run out of us, the British UK lot ended up going to faraway lands, continents, and things like that, and buying the slaves after running out of us free slaves, those free English slaves they had. And the story goes on from there, really. That's why we absolutely detest the British UK Empire, you know. Not our king. Yeah, 317 years
well,
on.
Are you saying they still do that now, right now, to this day?
Oh, it's worse now. England's getting worse and worse and worse because of the terror attacks that the British are putting on us now. Is absolutely with the sex and all that sorts of stuff at school. I don't know whether I can say this on YouTube, Hershey. You know, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be talking like this. I don't know. It's a bit political, you know. So maybe in private chat somewhere.
We understand sentences and bad words.
But the thing is, you understand the version of the English Constitution which you've taken on in America, yeah? You've got the English Constitution, but you've just made a few sort of edits to it, yeah? Yeah? The amendments and things like that, yeah?
The perspective that you've been bringing to me recently is completely new to me.
Right.
It will be. It will be. It's a totally different perspective. Yeah.
I think of us as like sort of a jump up army for the UK. Like,
No,
because they can tell us that the UK has a
if you just
problem
listen
and
to
we
a few
can't.
words, Joe, this might be able to help you understand what we're talking about. Yeah, the British are the enslavers of the world. They started enslaving. Do you know the story of Cornwall, for example? At night time over Cornwall, the British sailors came into port and took every single male, young baby, boys, girls, you name it, and men away on their ships and took them to places like Jamaica and places like that. They totally emptied Cornwall, you know, the British. The first lots of slaves before all this Nelson Mandela stuff, you know. English people are English people, no matter what colour they're born at birth. It isn't their fault whatever colour they're born, you know. As long as they follow the Constitution, as long as they follow the Constitution, the 10 Commandments, the 42 even, you know what I mean, and live as an Englishman, they're English if they live in England. But if they live as a British, they're certainly not. We don't speak British. We speak English in England. That's it. That's our indigenous language.
Well, how big is that part of the continent that identifies that way? Because it is new to me.
All continents, really. Canada, America, where you live, where the Cherokees and the Mohawks should be ruling your country, not Americans.
Well, you should be speaking in Maryland, understanding that I spoke a version of American English. I've never felt English.
If you think about it, if you go on a holiday anywhere in the world,
I think that's what I'm understanding, Maruda. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Say if you go on holiday somewhere in the world, it's always polite to be able to speak their language, you know. Yeah, and British haven't got a language; they've got no country to call them their own either. Yeah. They're just like exactly the same as what the Soviet Union was for 30 years. They're just a political ideology. They're nothing to do with the people. They're nothing to do with the indigenous tribes or anything, you know? And not there to help the country.
I didn't know it was like that over there. This is literally the first time I've ever heard this before.
This is your history. This is America's history. If you think about it, just flip your book and just think about it in a different way, and you'll understand what we're saying. Yeah. It is a different way of thinking about it, yeah?
Well,
it's a very difficult thing. It's a difficult thing for people like you to be able to know the difference between the British and the English, yeah? Yeah? The difference between the British and the English.
Well, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a very complicated one. It's a long subject. I am an English constitutionalist, and I've been all my life. Yeah, so I follow the rules. I know the Constitution.
A couple of readers.
Yeah.
Okay, Nabi, I wanna table this for right now, only because I think I understand, but I know a couple of readers that are in the UK, right?
It's just a little thought you got.
I believe they live like one says he lives like they live like hours and hours apart from each other. So I wonder like, you know, I don't know which one lives where. I just know that they.
Well, put it this way: I can make it really easy for you all to understand what I'm saying. I can make it really easy for you all to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, right. You come to England. The English Isles, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, You'll go to Scotland and you'll hear people speaking Scottish. You'll go to Wales, you'll hear people speaking Welsh. You go to England, you hear people speaking English. None of us speak British. It's impossible. Yeah. And another thing is, like, this is going to finalize. It's going to be a few seconds now. Yeah. Do any of you lot ever dare to call anybody in Russian Soviet? It's the same insult if you call English people British or UK. It's exactly the same as calling a Soviet a Russian. Anymore, right? I mean, a Russian a Soviet, if you know what I'm saying. The Soviet Union only lasted about 2 or 3 decades.
Right.
But the English Empire,
right, but
UK, Britain,
doesn't exist anymore.
In 317 years. Well, we have to stop it. We have to stop it we have to stop it immediately. You know, it's urgent for the whole world, you inclusive. Yeah, America's been destroyed by Britain as British UK people. Yeah, the terrorists. Yeah.
Well,
British people are English people are lovely people, just like you lot are. You know, we're all Christian. We've got indigenous rights. We've got traditions. You know, we're all Christians. We've been Christians for over 1,180 odd years of the English. You know, way before the UK and the British came into being in our parliaments and things. You know. Anyway, rant over. Sorry, I'm not going to bore you anymore. But yeah.
As far as we would say, in the Isles, you speak different dialects of the Queen's English, and we speak American English.
No, we speak our own English, which was taught to us by God thousands of years ago. We don't speak that Queen pervert whatever empire shit. Sorry, I swore. This is why I can't go on about this anymore, because I get too involved.
But in the United States, we have a British legal system, except in one state.
No, you follow the English Constitution, which is slightly changed into the American Constitution. That's what you follow, and you follow Christian values.
Yes, we do.
That's it. You don't follow anything political like the British. You don't follow anything political like the Soviets. You don't follow anything like political like
is poorly
the Syrians or whatever, you know. It's God's law. Yeah, that's what you follow.
Absolutely.
And so next door to Texas is Louisiana, and they follow French law, the French legal system.
Yeah.
So if you're a Louisiana lawyer, you really can't transfer or go to other states and practice law, or vice versa.
There's laws on law. Yes, there is. You can't be a judge or a policeman in certain places. Yeah.
Barristers or lawyers or
Wow, I didn't know that either. I'm learning all kinds of interesting things. I didn't know that either. Well, let's table this for a minute. You know, let's all breathe.
Let's talk some fun. Yeah,
I really I want Joe to get a chance to introduce himself. Well, it's Joe's turn, so let's give Joe a few minutes in the hot seat and let him introduce himself to everybody. Hold on, we'll get you in the hot seat.
Hey up, Joe.
There you go.
Hey, what's up, Nobby? What's up, Nobby? I've always been a grand fan of English culture. You know, I drink my tea all the time. Like, you know, I have my Goblin's teas made hanging out over there. It's hiding because I'm keeping it safe because I got one of the Swans, one that was made for the U.S. So I've always understand an English culture and stuff like that. I've never understood your government, but probably never mine either, right? My basic language is BEV. That's Black English Vernacular. That's where I grew up. So we just say, hey, yo, what's up, Joan? You know what I mean? So BEV, that's basically my language. I try my
best. I've been in a couple of your lives, Joe, and I love how you talk about your family. I love how you talk about your spirituality, how you talk about what you value. You know, I like that in a person. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man or a woman, but I like that in a person.
Thank you, Hershey, because I don't like to gender or genre.
I have noticed that much. Well, no, I think you Nobby. I just met you, but I mean, so far, I think both of you guys are pretty interesting. But tell me how you got so open about spirituality, and tell me, and the beautiful gems that are sitting here with us, tell us a little bit about, you know, your adventures with your spirituality with your wife.
With my spirit myself, it was like the regular grand tour, like the fact that, you know, I had a very classical education before I went to school, because my grandmother, you know, was working in the school. She dropped all the books down into our basement. I read them all. So when I went through high school, I was reading the same books. So I had the classical Greek education on, you know, mythology and everything else like that. So in spirituality, but then I went into Catholic school, you know, so I learned that perspective. Now, I went into Catholic school and then back and forth to public school. Public school, I found out, was much more repressive. You can't say the words. You can't say things out loud. It's not allowed. It's not politically correct. Even in my age, like I'm 46 years old. Like, so back then, you know, like there wasn't a lot of PC out there, but still the public schools were like governed by laws, and you can't say these things that are controversial or are picking. What do you want to call that? Provocative. So I grew up with provocative ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I had my neighbor, and we were like Roman Catholic baptized, right? But I had to wait till he was born. So I had my 5 months before he was born, because we were poured together. So I had my 4 months, 5 months before he was born, just communing with, you know, the fucking what do you want to call it? The tree god, the willow tree, you know, and all that. So I didn't have God before then. And then I had God after, and then I had non-God, and I had every God, you know. So my spirituality is, let's bring everybody together, understand where everybody comes from. That's why I do this. All the tribes of the world come back in a big sphere, because you all have different places, but it's community and it's unity. That's my spirituality. Everybody is valid. Everybody's point of view matters. And that's I can learn so much more by listening to you know.
Absolutely. I've heard you say in a couple of lives that your wife is into I guess supernatural and woo-woo and magic and the dead. How do you feel? Like, do you ever feel uncomfortable, or do you always know when there's another entity or spirit or a ghost or something? Can you tell as well when there's someone else around you that you can't maybe see?
I think she has what would grandly be called as like animism, where everything has its sacred little piece and spirit. So any stray feather she has to grab, you know, because it has its soul in it. She has to grab it. So me, I'm a little bit more selective, and then I like to use my like 80s mentality and fuck it around. So I'll get a raccoon jaw, and I'll be like, that is sacred. And then I'll glue like a really nice piece of felt to the bottom and make it pretty. You know? But she's more into the like,
I mean, it was
that's our woo-woo.
I like you know? You can definitely do that. So there are many things that I heard you say. You said that you appreciated like vessels and stuff like that. So I know you showed your beautiful doll. Well, I mean, it's beautiful to me. It could be incredibly creepy to somebody that does not do dolls.
It is, but so, that was that actual. I talked to his wife, the guy who made it, right? The guy who made it and melted the fingers down. He was de-stressing himself by making something more monstrosity, you know, more of a monstrosity. He was de-stressing himself from the war that he came back from. He wouldn't tell me that. His wife did, but he made it. You know what I mean? He wouldn't tell me how he was, you know, getting those demons out of his own soul. But that's what he did.
Absolutely.
So the more ugly that doll.
No, I honored that story you told. I was honoring that story. It was amazing. That's why I was like, oh my God, that's a beautiful doll. Then, you know, I mean, because at first I was like, wait, hold on, who burnt Chucky up? You know, and then I was listening to the story.
Joe is frozen. Let me see if we can get him back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But it isn't like that. He was purging out his own demons and, like, you know, making something beautiful.
I love that. Absolutely. I'm a shadow reader, and any kind of release that gets it out is all that matters. As long as you get it out and you don't carry it with you, man. If you are going through hell, keep going. Put the mountains behind you. Go over them, go through them, but get them behind you. When I heard that story, I was like, I got goosies and shit. I was like, damn, man, that doll is beautiful now. Like at first I was like, wait, hold on, not what I was expecting.
Yeah, why does he look so perturbed?
But I will show you. She's on a lot of lives with me, but this is Maddie. This is Maddie.
There you go. Solo. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Nice. She looks very distinguished.
And somebody said that she has maybe a classic Louisiana look.
Yeah, excuse me, mate. I'm gonna go get a drink. Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cheers, Navi. Cheers, Navi.
Well,
we had a nurse come in
need
today, and
okay, take me out of the hot seat, bro.
Okay, let's see. Let's all be equals here. So,
yes,
a new nurse came to dress my bandage from my surgery on my foot. I had foot surgery about a month and a half ago. I had a diabetic ulcer that infected the bone in my foot, and they ended up taking a bone out of my right foot. And I already told you that my left foot is shorter. My left leg is shorter than my right, and that's why my pronoun is shim.
Right.
So, so I'm missing one bone because the infection got into the bone, and so I have all my toes intact, but one of the bones down further was the bone that was infected that they actually had to.
They removed it.
Internal amputation.
Yeah.
So I'm one less bone in the skeletal system.
But how does that affect you? Because when I walk around on my feet, like I understand I have a possible grip I can use, but usually I walk on them like they're dead pieces of lead. Like I don't worry about the top bones because usually when I walk around, it's just flop, 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 flop. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel the difference?
Well,
can you not express that foot?
I have several medical problems with me. I was in a car accident about 5 years ago, and partially because I'm diabetic, and partially because I don't take as good of care of myself as I should be.
Right.
That things become critical, or I have no feeling in my feet. It's called diabetic neuropathy. So when I had this diabetic ulcer on the bottom of my foot, I didn't even know I had it. And Hershey pointed out, she said, "You're bleeding. You know what's going on?" And so we had to make an appointment with the foot doctor, and we were. He put me on antibiotics, and I had a home health care nurse come in and address it a few times a week. And, you know, we thought we got ahead of it. And then I just got feverish one day. And then
I'll be honest, from my point of view, an oral antibiotic is not strong enough because my dad went through that. He had, that neuropathy. He ended up with MRSA. He ended up losing toes, all that kind of, he recovered from all the diabeticism that he had, the first run of it, the second run of it, the cancer that he had after, and the everything. But in the neuropathy, he couldn't feel anything anyway. And then when they started rotting out, he lost MRSA and he lost the things. But I'm just telling you, like, from my point of view, they'll never give you like an oral, sort of antiseptic, and it's not going to kill that. It's not going to kill the infection that you got deep in there, or an antibiotic. It's not.
So I
like for myself, they gave me a Carblafon, which is it kills a fungus, but it also kills meat. You know what I mean? So when I was taking a Carblafon, I was like getting, and it just did not work. It did not work.
Well, so after the fever, then I think the fever hit Friday, and then Saturday morning when I woke up, the wound was healing up on the bottom of the foot, but it had tunneled, and that's why they gave me the antibiotic. Well, when I woke up Saturday morning, there was like a 2 by 3 inch water blister of pus and stuff that came up on top of the foot, and then so got as quick of an appointment as I could with my podiatrist, because he was already seeing me for taking care of this. And when I got there, he just wrote a prescription to the hospital. He says he wants this podiatrist surgeon to see me, and my ride took me off to the hospital. So Hershey held down the fort, fed the cats, told everybody what was going on, and I had a lot of prayers, a lot of support, and this happened to me 5-6 years ago, before I had done some self-improvement and shadow work. I would have been very frightened. I mean, totally frightened. But I had so many blessings and well wishes and people looking out for me that I was totally at peace. And I had to have 2 surgeries. I had one at 10 o'clock on a Friday night, and then my second surgery was on Sunday about noon. And no pain involved because of the diabetic neuropathy already. And because of my condition, I have a physical therapist coming in right now. And so I don't flex at the ankles. I mean, I have some bounce when there's weight on it, but to control, I can't flex or extend at my ankles, and I can't curl my toes. So like one of the exercises was to put a washcloth on the ground and try to scrunch up the washcloth with my toes.
Yeah, you can pick it up,
but
right?
When your toes are fused and straight and solid, the foot doctor called it spastic. From my ankle joint to my toes, everything is spastic. So I'm walking flat-footed anyway. It's boom, 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 boom.
And I do most of the time, but I have the benefit of I can probably still pick up, like a wet cloth off the ground or whatever with my feet, but I don't use them like that. But my father's been through like what you're going through. You know what I mean? You just got to try to use your lifestyle choices, because like I said, the oral antiseptic, and it's not really going to get there. It's never going to get there.
Yeah. So yeah, once I got into the hospital, they had to stabilize me for surgery, get my sugars under control so I could actually heal. So they did the blood tests and did enough insulin to get me under control. Since the surgery was late at night, they usually don't let you eat on surgery day. So they had to give me bags of sugar water so I wouldn't pass out, because I was going low, because they got me stabilized. But every 2 hours I got a antibiotic infusion. So for the 6 days I was in the hospital, I had 12 infusions every day of antibiotics.
Wow. Can you feel anything now? Is it getting better?
It's getting better. The stitches came out both top and bottom, and the sore on the bottom of the foot is fully closed and healed. And now where they took the bone out, they actually, did it was probably a 1 centimeter by 1 inch hole where they took the bone out of the top of my foot and left the end of the toe there. So we're getting that slowly healed and built up tissue. I'm drinking like Juven and collagen supplements, and they're
you got like sugar gels. You got to be doing like all kinds of electrolytes, right? But do you walk unassisted? Are you a cane or a walker, or how do you walk around?
I have been walking for the last 5 years on a rollator walker. It's a little wheelie walker. And then
the one that you can like lean on, put your knee on, and that kind.
No, they gave me a surgical boot, and then they gave me.
It's a rollster.
It's a rollster. It's this thing here.
Oh, it's a 4-wheeler. It's a 4-wheeler.
It's a 4-wheeler. Yeah. I stand up and
you can just run around. Yeah. 4-wheeler.
I got big shoulders now, because I do a lot.
Yeah. He's got less. Hell yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. So Nabi is asking, if we're on YouTube. We are on YouTube, Nabi. We are just through StreamYard, and I don't know. Do you have a screen? I mean, I know you said your screen was messy, but do you have a button thing that you could click on that would give you the option to see the chat button? And if those are screensavers we keep looking at, those are pretty cool screensavers. I don't know where you actually went.
He's sharing a video that he's got.
Yeah, he has. He uses like a license-free library, and then he like makes his own edits. It's one of those things he's been doing to occupy his time, as well as learning guitar, is to do like re-edits of like things that he can get out there, visual libraries and stuff. As best as I can explain.
That's a video from 2 days ago outside my local blues bar. What I did myself, showing at the moment.
Do we have a moderator that's in chat where we can drop Thomas's link so that he can grab the link? Let me see who's in chat. Who's
Whose YouTube channel are we on? Yours, Hershey, or Thomas's?
Let's see.
No, we're on Thomas's.
Oh, right. I've searched your channel. I couldn't find it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what Thomas's YouTube channel is.
What's the actual link?
It's right.
Got a link in what's it called? StreamYard, whatever. Then I can see chat. Then that's all.
Yeah, not the StreamYard link. The link to the channel. It's right here. It's in YouTube. You would look up Taro Your Way, just like it says here.
Oh, Taro Your Way. Okay, I'll look at that on YouTube then. Fair enough.
Yeah, and you should be able to.
Okay, let's have a look.
I believe, if I understand what you're saying. Otherwise, I don't know if I understand because I suck with technology. Technology have not got along at all this week. I just want to say and make it clear. Technology has been kicking my ass all week long.
So today, when the home healthcare nurse came to change my dressing, this particular nurse was her first time visiting us, and she saw all the tarot cards and the incense and the woo woo all around, and she got visibly nervous.
I heard that she had high anxiety.
I could feel it. I was like, oh my God.
She had high anxiety.
Oh, she was so nervous. She was literally, she admitted it. She was like, no, it terrifies me. I'm terrified.
I don't want to know anything about my future.
Like, all of that terrifies me.
You know, she says, I want to make my own decisions. And if somebody tells me that something's going to happen, you know, I don't want it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And, you know, and I sort of got into the, you know, sometimes free will is just an illusion. You know,
well,
some people
you're
say
right. It probably is. But let me just put it in perspective. I might have a bunch of clutter up here that's just silly stuff. Like you, I have the fame record. I have like fame, right? And you know, this isn't woo-woo. This doesn't scare anybody. But it's still just extra clutter. You know, I have a Mad magazine over there. And it still makes people anxious. You know, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't scare them. But it's just too much shit for them to see in their lives, and they get anxious. You know what I mean? So they have every right to, I guess. You know what I mean? They're like, why do you want to be surrounded by all this fucking shit, you know? And it's like, because in my view, I'm never going to live forever. So why don't I just, you know, run around with a bunch of shit? But it makes people anxious. It makes them very anxious. They don't want to see that. They want clean, you know, clean eggshell walls and... You know, so it makes people anxious, and unfortunately, they're missing.
No, all you see is tarot decks. That's literally my entire office is tarot decks and woo woo, and yeah,
right, and mine is too. You know, because the same record means something to me, actually. But for them, you know, they shouldn't be intimidated, but it does bother them. Just all of the noise, all of the chatter.
You're absolutely correct, Nicole. You're 100% correct. Why do I say you're 100% correct? Because it's also only part of the statement. Man got greedy and took what they wanted to hear, but it's free will to make your choice. Like they left that part off, right? You do have free will to your own choice. But if you do not make a choice, one or all, whether life, karma, fate, or destiny, one of them will step in and make a choice for you. And you may not like what happens. So yes, it is it's an illusion in a way, I guess you could say. And I just wanted to overtalk everybody. Hi for everybody coming in. Welcome.
So for
those who don't know,
somebody give me a link for it, will you? Because I don't know where Toots is. I don't know what channel it's on YouTube.
So
they would have
into the channel if you can see it.
Okay, you type it in, Joe, into private chat, into StreamYard, whatever it is, wherever you are.
I tried. When I put tarot your way, I get.
You're on a phone, aren't you? Oh, crikey! Yeah.
So
you know what? Let me grab my phone and I will drop links, guys. Give me 1 second.
I was just saying that, like people get uncomfortable.
I've searched tarot your way. I've searched all sorts. I can't find you.
I was just saying, like, it doesn't have to be occultism. People get threatened anyway when they see too much noise around. Woo woo. You know, it doesn't have to be occultism.
Well,
it's just if they see too much activity, they get intimidated. They want quiet. They want sterility in life. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm a big.
I can't find
offender.
I'm approaching this as an educational tool to look into what makes Thomas tick. So
sure.
I'm using part of my platform as education, plus entertainment, because people want to get a free tarot reading and see what's going on.
We're all getting entertained and having a good time too.
But Hershey, on the other hand, she actually is a practicing trans medium. So she actually deals with ghosts and spirits and people that have passed that need to get, they may have some unfinished business. She provides them with a vehicle to get a message to their loved ones, and then gets them to where they need to be to enjoy the afterlife or to meet up with the family on the other side. And
so if it's fair enough to call the trans part of trans medium transitional, like somebody in the spirit realm needs to move something from one place to the other or get something resolved, that's the transitional part of the mediaism to the spiritual.
No, it's literally trance. I'm an energy bender. It's a trance medium. I provide a vessel for them to give them an opportunity for unfinished business. If they didn't get a chance to tell someone that they love them, or just a chance to say goodbye, or I'm okay, I'm at peace. I'm that vessel for them if they have unfinished business.
And Hershey, like, even though I was being like heavy with the language, I kind of know that, you know what I mean? So trance, I understand is trance, but people trance out to this way.
Is if the soul is lost.
So when I like threw out the transitional trans, it's because somebody has a need that needs to be fulfilled.
That's where the rescue, right? That's where the rescue part comes in. I do two different things in and with the dead. The rescue part goes to those that maybe died in a vengeful or rage or unexpected or instant, accidental, that they don't realize where they're at, or those that maybe have some kind of something holding them back, or a dark object that could keep them here because maybe they think they got away with something, but they didn't get away with something. So that would be where I would work in the rescue side to getting them to another place. Ultimately, my end goal is to get them to peace, to get them crossed over to somewhere better, somewhere different, another part of their journey. I don't actually know where they go when they leave me, but I just know that I believe I get them to a better place.
And you said you're not psychic, you're out there hearing them all the time. It's when you
to. When I open doors, hundreds, and if I'm outside, thousands will be trying to get my attention. That's why I have to usually stay indoors. I stay in a very small space that I can circle me in a circle with salt and gems and stones and totems and vessels, and be like, nope, I'm only opening 2 doors or 4 doors or 1 door. Like 10's my limit on live. I will not open more than 10 doors. I can't do it. I can't hold that many open because they're coming through.
Now that's why I'm overcritical, because I totally understand. That's why I like push hard, because I totally understand.
I would give a good example.
My wife had to ask me before she went to bed.
Right, like
I said, the door, yes, 4 feet open. That's how much the door. That's how much.
right. So, yeah. No, mine aren't like that. Mine's more like a stampede. And they're trying to get through one little cattle gate, and hundreds are trying to get through one little cattle gate, and you just see all of them lined up, and I'm like, whoa, boundaries, back up, wait. So no, I'm not psychic. I cannot pull your Aunt Jean out of the gorgeous other realms. I wish I could, but I'm not weaving through all of that traffic to try to find any. No. I mean, if they come through as they sense me and they sense you or whoever I'm trying to make a connection for, that's a whole different story. Sometimes I can grab their energy as I'm moving around, and around their guides, or sensing what kind of guides they have. But no, I'm not a psychic. No, I am not. my partner that we do crime reads on, she is a psychic medium. She can pull your granny opal out of nowhere and, you know, just it have a great old time with it. But yeah, no, I that is a lot of power and responsibility. See, I can just, you know, nitpick 10 or 15, 20 to come hang out. I don't have to worry about whose granny they are. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling.
Hershey and I were on a live
one
evening, and a friend, Brian, Blushing Nerd Tarot, came to be on our channel. And as soon as he got in the live, we heard a screen door creak and slam, and feet hit the floor. And it's on video, it's on tape, and it's like,
for sure.
I'm on the other side of the wall where this picture is hanging, where the screen door banged. Hershey is in the dining room connected to the living room at a desk, and she's hearing it. And Brian is going, "What in the world is going on?" Because he can hear the audio through the stream.
So it's my microphone's part, or my microphone's fault. Like my microphone picks up everything, and that day I didn't have my mic kind of facing down. It was facing that way more, and it was like you could literally hear the squeaking, like an old movie or an old horror story, and you hear that squeaking door. It was so creepy. It was so creepy. Maruda Nabi keeps showing off some of his pretty cool videos. He does some pretty cool digital graphics. If I understand correctly. Hi Scorpio, hi love, how are you doing? Welcome back in.
Yeah, the best explanation I got is that he gets into the available, you know, sort of available directories, and then he re-edits them to make them his own.
But he was saying,
right, yeah, no, that sounds the other pretty day, cool.
From the little park.
Yeah, he showed his local area for sure. Yeah, he showed his local area for sure.
And I've never seen a squirrel with those pointed, tufted ears. We don't have those kinds of squirrels here. I guess.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a squirrel like that. That is so freaking stinking adorable.
Man,
squirrels.
Oh my God, do they really look like that? Do the squirrels look like that where you live, Nobby?
A bit further up north from where I live at the moment. Yeah.
Oh my God, I want one. Oh my God. Oh, I need them. Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, it sounded something similar to that. And whoever's doing the audio is wonderful. Great sound effects, because that is what it sounded like. And we was like, oh, what was that? I jumped up like, we don't got no doors that sound like that. What's going on? I didn't know what was going on. It was creepy. And the squirrel has pigtails. I think it's its ears, right? Oh my God! Don't tell me it's got pigtails. I thought it was a rabbit too, Scorpio. When we were backstage before we went live, I was like, "What kind of rabbit is that?" And I'm like, "Wait, that's a squirrel." And Miles was like, "That's definitely a squirrel." A squirrel with pigtails.
So and
yeah,
then
I've wanted to take a picture of this squirrel because this squirrel keeps messing with my wife outside. She has a seat. I don't go over to her seat. Then she has her little gardening and stuff. And this squirrel has been putting this nut in the ground and like eating it up and running away. And she tried to block him out, and he comes up every day. And today I saw him and I was like, hey, you know, I wish I took a picture because they're usually not that close. and I've seen him for like the last 2 weeks, very close, and he's not scared of me. He's not scared of anything, and I would love to take pictures of him. But today I saw him digging in her thing again, and I was like, "Hey!" And he knocked it all over and ran away. And I was like, "Damn, what do you got there? The cocaine?"
My smoking video that I made. My
yeah,
healthy cigarette.
Well, yeah, man. Let me roll up a joint, man. Fuck that. I'm gonna smoke some cocaine myself.
So I was in downtown Houston. I was in downtown Houston one morning trying to get to work on the buses and waiting on a street corner for a light to change, and some lady came up to me and she says, "Secondhand smoke kills, you know." And I said,
yeah, it kills my baby.
Enough.
Stop knocking shit down. You know what?
Do you get that virgin tobacco over there then in America?
We have
we only get
brand
we only get old shag over it. Yeah.
We have a brand called Native Spirit, which is tobacco.
Oh yeah, I smoke that. I smoke that sometimes. It's blue packet, yeah.
Yeah, we have. There's blue packets and yellow packets, and
yellow packets, blue packets, and the light blue is actually organic. It's American Spirit.
We're Indian up front,
guys. Come on now.
We're Indian up front.
Man, I think your digital creations are wonderful. You're completely wonderfully talented. I love it. I love people that have an expression, and man, I love the way that you so in my oracle deck that I'm creating, I'm using some digital art that I'm creating on my computer and hand-drawn sigils that will be put into the cards. So I've got like all the hand-drawn stuff done, and I've got the guidebook written. But this digital stuff, man, I'm just over here like, wow. Like,
wow. It's brilliant. I'm using digital stuff. Really I can't draw off, but life for me. But like, if you've got an imagination with this AI film suite, which I've got at the moment, which you just put an idea into it and say, "Hey up, I want some smoke in an ashtray," and I'll put smoke in an ashtray. Then you go, "Hey up, I want that smoke doing certain movements."
Yeah,
it just does it for you. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I did an Olympic special. I put a woman.
I use Copilot and
I put for Olympics. I put a woman in the. Oh, talking of it, teacher. It's this 16-second lag. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I made this ashtray for Olympics for this year for laugh. You know what I'm saying? And I made the smoke inside the ashtray really dense and really thick. Then stirred it up. That looked brilliant. Then I asked it to say, "Hey up, can you make it do ball dancing?" And it could. And I was saying like, "Okay, well, make it go, do some break dancing." And that's what the result is, what I got, like, you know. It took all day, like, you know what I'm saying, just to get like 2 seconds worth of whatever. Just working it out, telling it what to do.
Right.
But I can't draw for life for me, you know.
Right.
I can't. But I'm really good at respraying cars and bikes. I can respray things and weld and stuff, but I can't do pictures, you know. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's really good fun. You know, you just put whatever's in your head into it, make it up, you know. That's when it gets really interesting.
Know, me too. Like, I will give as good as the description. Yep. I totally am enjoying the digital art, but I've made so many cool different patterns. I'm kind of like stuck because I can only have kind of one. I want one thing. I don't think
have any of you heard 8K?
You know, I don't want it that yet.
Have you heard 8K sound? Hey, gone quiet.
Not 4K, but 8K. How does that relate to your ears? You know?
Put headphones on, go search 8K sound, give it a listen.
Okay.
It's absolutely crazy. It's like sound coming out at back of your spine, sound coming out top of your head and everything. It's weird. Like sound coming out your right ear and out your left eye.
Sort of like the...
okay, Maria. Okay.
It's either 8K or 6K. I think it's 8K. Whatever. Sound. That's what it's called.
It's probably 8, yeah.
Navi, it's probably starting to get daylight for you. Is that correct?
Comes up about 7:30 these days. It's only 5 o'clock.
It's only 5. Okay. Well, we've kept you up, but I am a night owl myself. So
the thing is, I take all my medications, all my herbs and peptides and things like that at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I have to eat something with it, and then I fall asleep for 3 or 4 hours. You know, that's how my life works. So I've got all my stuff inside me to see through the day. You know. But if I take it too early, like if I took it at a normal time, like at night time, it wouldn't work for the daytime, you know. But on that, I'm only getting 2 hours, sometimes only 45 minutes sleep a night, you know. So yeah, so I'm pretty hyped here, pretty hyped here, you know.
I'm so sorry that I kicked myself out because I was trying to share that link over there to Toots and to those people, but I lost it, so I just kicked myself out. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. I think unless you guys have any questions for us, I think maybe we'll wrap it up and let people get some sleep. We made an hour.
I've been all over the world tonight. I've been in Australia, everywhere. I've stopped all night.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet.
Yeah, it's fun.
I was still wondering
I might end
whether
up finding out what YouTube channel I'm on in a minute.
So, does anybody have a question?
Good night, everybody.
Joji or Hershey or myself?
Yeah, yourself. I was going to talk to you about tarot, seeing you're a tarot person, and about your cards. Do you make them yourself? Do you design them?
I do not. I'm not artistic. I have some physical challenges with my hands.
I'm going to bed.
Okay. Yeah.
If you look at my hand,
good night, everybody. I'm exhausted. Love y'all. Good night. You guys have a good night.
Is that Thomas?
You guys have a good night.
Yeah.
So
he was talking.
I've had a car accident. I was a pedestrian in a crosswalk and was hit by a car. Initially was just fine because I jumped and left enough friction of my feet off the pavement that the car hood swept my feet out cleanly from underneath me. But when I was face up against a windshield, the person panicked and slammed on the brakes and threw me about 60 feet down the pavement and re-broke a collarbone, cracked a couple ribs, landed on a hip and stiff-armed the pavement. And the bones on my hand, on my wrist, they should be together. They're about I would say 5/8 of an inch apart. So when I hit the pavement, the entire hand took ligaments and connective tissue. The hand translated. So to fix it, because I'm diabetic, I don't have a lot of feeling there anyway, and I wasn't in a lot of pain. But to fix it, they were going to put 4 rods and, however many screws, and then my hand would only be able to grasp. I would have a fixed position from arm to hand. So I would only be able to grasp. I wouldn't be able to articulate back and forth or up and down. So since it wasn't causing pain, there was no surgery involved, because if I would have had surgery, it would have diminished capacity anyway. But because of that, muscle has lost tone and atrophied. So I have some challenges. Even shuffling decks, I have an automatic card shuffler. And if I get poker-sized tarot decks, they'll fit in my card shuffler.
But how does that happen? They're always taller. They're always tall, right?
Most of them are taller. And what I'll do is I'll just sit here and deal them out into 5 or 7 or however many piles, and gather them up and flip them around and deal out 4 piles the next time and pick them up. And then once I have enough mixing in there, I'll pick off the top 3 cards for my mini reads at first, and then I'll put them random places in the deck, and then do a couple cuts, and then do the next reading with the next few.
Well,
cards.
it's probably almost ironic, but when I grew up with all the poker card hustlers, they knew what they were doing. I couldn't shuffle that well, so I would like to have a shuffle deck too, right? But what happened was I started reading the Di Vernon and all the sort of magic, sleight of hand card shit. It's easier for me than somebody who can shuffle well, because I have to false shuffle.
I'll tell you about Lulu. She can shuffle. I think it's four full decks tarot cards at once. She does the drop card reading. Where you shuffle them, where the cards drop.
Oh yeah.
You make your predictions that way. Mm-hmm. I put a link in StreamYard for you, Thomas. Chat, link up. You'll both get on like a house on fire. You've got a lot of things in common.
So here's it's a casino deck.
Yeah.
Pulled up to 6 decks of poker cards.
Wow. Yeah, usually a casino, a blackjack is 2 or 3 decks or something like that.
6 or 8 deck shoes in Vegas. They did, and then they may cut off the final 2 decks. So if you're trying to count cards, you don't have that much of an advantage. Anyway.
I did a tarot card I did a tarot video. It'll take me a while to find it again, but yeah, I did a tarot card reading video thing in the past.
So Hershey knows that I got in trouble because I opened my wife's Santa Muerte cards and I was playing around. But these are the little version. These you could probably put in your shuffler. I've never opened these. But, the other pack that I opened, I got in trouble.
A poker deck is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And
I'm not gonna open the box.
A bit too tall, and there is a way that you can cut off a little on the top, a little off the bottom, and use a corner rounder and modify the deck to fit in there. But I like to see the artwork on decks, but since I am limited to size, I'm not just limited to size. I have.
I know what you're saying, Thomas. Lulu's using cards like this size. Can you see that size there? That's just a box of strings, but that's about the size that she's using.
So that's
but probably 5 inches square by about, and she has a pack about that thick, about 3.5, 4 inches thick. And she shuffles them, and they end up, 2 of them will fly off, and then she'll take the reading from them and do it that way, pick them up off the floor or whatever.
So this is a cartoonist that did a tarot deck, and it's kind of funny. Adam Stoller, he's got a couple
3D
there, and this is
that's a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 10. I thought it was 3D. I thought it was 3D cards.
Best Game Systems has several decks like this, and the size that will fit in my card shuffler. But I don't have to have things that go in. We don't turn as many readings. There's banter, and if Hershey and I are reading, we're reading. Come in. We're taking turns reading, and so I can mix up the cards while she's reading. And a lot of people get that ASMR with the shuffling of the cards, and Hershey can shuffle a deck. I mean, we just got some cards that we're going to take on a cruise next month. So we got totally plastic tarot cards. And Hershey got one style, and I got your standard Rider-Waite-Smith kind of clone version. But they're very beautiful because they sort of have like a foil holograph effect on my deck, and Hershey's is black and maybe copper line art on her deck. We're gonna go on a cruise November 2nd out of Galveston to Key West, Florida, Freeport, Bahamas, Carnival's private island over there in Nassau, Bahamas, and then come back. So
so for my wife, like I said, this is my wife's, this is the mini version of her deck. I didn't get in trouble for this one yet, but here's the back, and I'm not going to open the rest. But there's a Santa Muerte deck that she has. But at the same time, we got her a acrylic, like 52 card deck, something that, like you're saying, that you can bring, like when you get your, what is it, Rider deck? You can bring it on the cruise and not worry about it, right?
Yeah, it's the thing that you have to worry about is like if people are drinking soft drinks or a beer or whatever, the tropics are very wet, so the moisture condenses and then gets all over the table, right. And that can ruin a standard deck of cards. Where these look like you can just take a wet wipe and dry them down, and you're set to go.
I have gotten my wife like completely acrylic cards, just in a 52 deck, not one of these decks, but something that, and she was so happy to have it. It comes in sort of a clip over case. You can take it to the beach, for example, and like they're not gonna scuff up, they're not gonna get wet, they're not gonna bend. So there's nobody thinking you're cheating because you're bending up a card or whatever. Like, so whatever, Yeah. I understand. Like, they're more durable in that environment.
Well, with what the nurse walked into today was we had an incense boat and we had an incense stick burning. And then when she looked around Hershey's desk area, she's got like a 12 box cubby. And then she's got decks on top as well. And each of those 12 cubbies have decks lined up in them. And then we have a built-in glass bookshelf in the living room where there's 3 glass shelves, and that's where most of my cards are if they're not in the rotation here on my table. So and I've got an assortment of tarot and oracle cards, but and anything goes. And Hershey has more diverse tools. She's got divining rods. I have a pendulum but I'm, like I said, I'm more on the, I want to teach and give you the standard meanings of the cards. And I've got a series that I've been doing on Sundays where we go just one card at a time, sort of deep dive it, and then have a 5 to 8 minute interlude. And some people write poetry, some people draw a picture in their tarot journal, just to give you some creative space and some contemplation with each of the cards.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, meeting Hershey through Jeff, right? Tarot Ask Backwards. He works with Ramon, and Ramon does the all, interpreting the card. From what I've seen in some of his videos, it's like, this is what that card should mean, and stuff like that, like one by one, and like individuated and clear, and I'm not interpreting. I'm just letting you know what it should communicate as it's pulled.
And I guess it's sort of like when you there are different systems of tarot. There's tarot, and then there's a system called Lenormand, which are 36 cards in that. Tarot is usually 78 cards. And if you learn the basic Rider-Waite definitions, many of the decks are called a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, which each artist interprets a little bit different, and they might put their own twist on what that card means.
I think there's a lot of new inspiration in how, like, if it's a 10 of cups, it's a 10 of cups. If it's a 7 of pentacles, it's a 7 of pentacles. But the way that they reinterpret Rider-Waite, like you say, that standard deck, like my wife has, mid-English, whatever you want to call it, they have that Rider-Waite deck, but now they interpret the visual different, and it kind of informs people in the future for something new. And then they do it in a different art style, and then they do it in watercolors instead of ink or whatever. And like, I think that, it brings a lot of more maybe clarity. Actually, I was thinking about it brings more diversity, but I don't think so. Maybe it makes things clearer.
Well, for somebody who's learning, maybe your aesthetic is different than mine. I like very rich and vivid colors. Other people might be more timid and like earthy or pastel colors.
Vivid.
Some people might like broad landscapes and sceneries, whereas most of these cards have a human depiction in them in most of the cards. And so it's like a little vignette.
My entire house is purple. I haven't got any other color whatsoever in my house. Purple and silver stuff in kitchen. That's about it. And also, Thomas, do you want to have a look at some cards which are absolutely beautiful, which Lulu made? But you'll have to look at them in StreamYard because they'll be copyrighted. If you know what I'm saying, just have a look. Do you want to have a look? I'll put a picture in. Yeah, a friend of mine in Australia is a tarot card reader.
And some.
It's in private chat. There you go.
If they're actual like AI decks, StreamYard can kind of get a little upset with
YouTube
on
Yeah.
Adam and Eve in the Lover's card. Or, hi there. I have a cat that's wanting to go outside.
No, have a look if you can see that link I've just given you. I've just taken a picture and put it onto a link so you can have a look at it.
Okay.
But don't publish it on YouTube though. You know, just have a look.
Okay. And then like I said, this deck that I have, the Stoller Tarot, is cutesy. This is his take on the Fool card. He's on the edge of the cliff. He looks like a court jester.
It's very cartoon, right?
It looks like Dastardly, doesn't it? That dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it reminds me of like
some of the
Rick and Morty style cartoons or something like that, right? It's cartoon.
And so if you get like a collage deck or an AI deck that really doesn't have much of the same symbolism on it, it's I would put it akin to like if you know the RWS and you know what the coin suit is, or it may have the 8 of Pentacles and you know what that card is. So it's like, okay, I know what the 8 of Pentacles is, and I just sort of translate it back to that RWS that I'm familiar with, and then I can go ahead with the reading. Even though the card may look totally different and not the same or similar to an RWS deck.
Well, then you have, basically like the suit and then the hatch marks. Like it doesn't matter if it's a 3 of or a 4 of, you have the hatch marks and then the suit, which is the pentacle, the cup, the wand, or etc. Right? But then there's major arcana, minor arcana, and then the trumps, right? Like I don't know what really that means. I don't know how to use that.
Your trumps are your major arcana, and then so those are the big important life events that are common to like being a human.
Yeah.
So like you either get stuck or you fall in love or you don't trust your intuition. Those are sort of the big themes. And then when you get to the minor arcana and the suits, it's sort of like the everyday day-to-day things that we deal with. It can be good things, it can be bad things, it could be issues, it could be problems, it could be roadblocks. There's
always like my friend that supports me, and then my friend that's trying to do me in. So they're one of them, and they're one of them, and they're always here. They're here next week. They're here. There's 8 of them. They're here tomorrow, right? But they're all codified by their own minor arcana suit. Their minor arcana face. I mean, their minor arcana facade.
So it sort of does follow the numbered cards from the ace to the 10 in the suits. They all follow sort of a pattern. Like your ones are beginnings and promises. Your sword suit is your analytical, thoughtful mind processes. Your wands are creativity, fire element. Your cups are your water element and love and intuition. And your pentacles have to do with the material world around you, how you interact and barter. It's got something of tangible worth. And so the numbers sort of like 5s. I don't like a lot of 5s because that's like struggles and conflicts. And 8s are all about movement, whether you're moving or you're stuck. And then when you get to the court cards, the page, the knights, the queens, the kings, then I approach it like a Jungian archetypes with the Myers-Briggs personalities, the 16 different personality types. So you've got analytic, you got introverts and extroverts.
Right. So type AJ, type AG, or AJIM or whatever like that.
I'm an INFJ. I'm introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judgmental. So my card is the Queen of Wands. That would be significator of a personality that most aligns with my thought processes and my everyday motivators, you know.
Right on.
But we can always play bits and pieces of other characters and archetypes. You know, we're not always stable. We're not always predictable. You know,
I think you should try to exercise other, stretch out beyond your own, beyond your own deck, and just stretch out and try, you know what I mean? So that you can develop skills that you could use.
So he's
Toots already knows.
So he's extroverted, intuitive, and judgmental like me. The T, I can't remember the two letters for the T. But there's
Toots. No, Toots is a woman. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Toots is a woman, but you're terrestrial. That's your T. You live here.
I'm a little extraterrestrial or telestial or celestial, whatever world I'm delving into that day. Okay.
I was trying to share her a join in link. I don't know how to, but I tried. I almost kicked myself out of here anyway, so I don't want to do that.
Okay. Why don't I say goodbye to these fine people, and we can get links to each other behind stage. If you two will stick around after we say goodbye, we can stay in the backstage here and talk, and then take care of business. And
I will, but I hope I don't click myself out. That's my mistake because I'm not so good at this. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So down at the bottom, you're just not gonna hit that little leave studio button until we all say goodnight to each other.
You can't drop. Can you drop a chat? Can you drop a link for Toots to come up, or Doug or somebody, and then just retract it so that nobody else hits it? Just in the regular chat, just drop one for Toots and then just pull it back.
We run the risk of trolls trying to get on here. I would never if somebody popped up and I didn't know them and you didn't know them, and
right. But in the backstage, you don't have to let them up either. I've done this. Right. I put it down, and then even for Toots and stuff, and then if somebody else comes up, they come in the backstage. I say, I don't know you. They say, hi, hi, hi. I look at them again and I say, I don't know you. And I just nope, you're not allowed. It's not that bad. I just put the link in. I say, go get it. And then I retract it. And then Toots, she had me do it 3 times actually, and I kept doing it. And I kept having these little kids who came up with their little shaved little boy heads, and they kept coming up, and I was like, who are you? And they would give me the finger, and I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? I get you. But that was Saturday. I shouldn't have been up here on Saturday. I know better. Anyway, I'm
okay. So thanks for being with us.
What's the T?
Pardon?
What's the T on that? She already knows what she is.
ENTJ. Yeah. Can you, Toots? Can you? I know that the first E is for extroverted. I think the N is for intuitive. Or maybe the T is for intuitive. There's an F for feeling that goes with that third letter. J is for judgmental, which I know that one, but I don't know the other letter. But introvert, extrovert.
Toots is definitely an extrovert. Toots, you're an extrovert. I can tell you that. Easy.
Toots, are you an American? Toots, are you an young? I can't even say American. Such a long word. Is Toots an American young girl? I thought. whatever that EN ever T's
I don't
about. I
know
don't
if
know
he's
what the hell
American
that
or
was.
Thinking. Okay, yeah. So the third T is thinking. Thinking or feeling is the F that would go with that T.
Thinking and then judgmental, right?
I thought we're all working class.
Well, it's just with those 8 pairings, you can get all 16 of the court cards in a Jungian archetype, and get those traits. So big generalities, just like people would say, well, you're not really reading, you're just speaking in generalities. Well, I'm
It's
reading.
Not personal. It's a realm or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like your type.
Yeah.
Enneagrams. What are enneagrams? How do you do those?
I want to teach the art of the science of reading tarot is like art. The art of reading tarot is putting together a story that is relatable, that the person asking the question, oh, okay, I see why this is this particular choice.
It has to be approachable, that the other person is open to hear you, and then relatable so they understand what you're saying, and more specific, right?
Okay, I think we'll cut it off here. You two stay around, and thank you for the instrumental. Thanks for being here, guys. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be with us, and thank you for honoring us with your presence and your attention, and
thank you.
And your kind interest in the subject. And remember, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and go out and make it a great night, a great day. Bye, everyone.
See you soon.
Morning.
Thank you.
Morning, rest of the world.